Welcome to the Locals Only Lounge. I'm your host, Andrew Dyer. Joining me is producer John Cross. John, good to see you again.
Thanks for having me back, Andrew.
Oh yeah. I'm the one in control here after all.
I'm
So
just happy I nailed the music to the Loyal Locals podcast last episode.
yeah, there was music this week, which was great.
I see we have a guest that has just popped in here. Our director of communications. Bring in Mr. Jason
Oh, did he
Radcliffe.
get a Did he get a microphone yet, Jason?
What's up, boys?
Oh, he did not. How are you
No, I
doing?
did not. I'm good. How are you?
We're doing well.
Good. Sounded like
We're just spitballing lounge topics and yeah. So you did not come up as a topic, so I wasn't prepared.
myself personally. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to discuss.
Well, you can.
Uh,
If I need to leave, so you can talk about me, let me know.
so yeah,
I had a good time. I had a good time at the watch party. I don't know about you guys.
oh yeah, it was good right up until we lost the match. I would say.
What was bad before that when it started off where we didn't see? So here's my question: if a goal is scored and it's not shown at the watch party, does it count?
Oh, I forgot all about
this is a
that.
full tree fall in the woods situation.
You
I
know,
only saw one goal. I thought we were tied up there 0-0 till the end because I only saw one goal.
this falls on the Loyals broadcast partner, Fox 5 San Diego, who I don't know what their programming policies are. We all so To set the stage, we're all watching the end of this Boston Celtics Boston. Who is it? The Red Sox game.
That's
It was baseball. So we're waiting for the end of the baseball game. Mercifully, the game ends. Just after the Loyal match kicks off, and so we sit through a round of commercials, and everybody we're all just thinking like, okay, the baseball game's over. It's going to kick over to the Loyal match because even on the guide, the TV guide thing on the screen, like you can see, USL soccer was on the schedule at whatever to 7 p.m. Right. And to everyone's horror, Fox 5 decided to broadcast Baseball Night in America after a Boston game to its San Diego audience, and yeah, it didn't go over well at the watch party. I don't know what the demographics are of people watching Boston Celtic baseball in San Diego, but I feel like it's
those 12 people were happy somewhere
yeah,
scattered around the county.
yes,
They're like,
yes.
oh, good. Like we got in the recap from I forget that guy's name, the baseball guy on Fox, but I don't know them and the whatever steroid user post game
I
studio
mean,
host they
talking
have.
about baseball in May is already weird to me. I mean, I know that a
Yeah,
lot of people are baseball fans, and that's fine. I like baseball in September. Like that's when I start like caring about baseball is at the end of the season, just because I mean the season's too long. There's too many games. I
two
can't,
two
you know,
one game in May.
yeah, I
Red
can't do
Sox
it.
versus Diamondbacks. Like, yeah, let's move on with our lives and show us
Can't
some
do it.
soccer.
Can't do it. Nope.
I don't think we need
Cannot
to
do
be
it.
breaking this one down.
But yeah, so eventually,
So that goal didn't count because it was in the first 5 minutes and we didn't see it. So
somebody, the hero of the night, and we never got to thank this person. Somebody finally just plugged in the laptop to the
yeah,
broadcast system they have there and streamed the game from ESPN Plus, which you know maybe maybe we should have.
gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately, that's unfortunate to
this is
have
not
that
going to
happen.
happen with that MLS team. I'm thinking that they're not going to pull this kind of crap with MLS.
They probably won't because
God,
they
dang. I
don't play on
cannot wait to
TV.
be just like all the righteous indignation from all of the slights that we're going to get. I'm just like looking for. I would like to be mad at stuff, and so like feel like I'm just going to have more and more opportunities.
There's
to
a lot
feel,
of things to be mad about. If
feel
you look, you
slighted
don't
and
have to
put
look
upon
elsewhere.
and disrespected. Like,
Well, the nice thing is that they won't be playing on DirecTV because you and 100 other people have to subscribe to Apple Plus or Apple, not Apple Plus,
The
Apple
MLS
TV,
package.
the MLS package, which they gave away for free and now is not as sustainable. And then they realized no one else wanted it except for
you know, by
the already
2025,
season ticket holders.
I mean, is this going to still be a thing in 2025? I don't even know how long that deal's for.
This whole
Or if
thing
there's
is
an
on the other
output.
side of the election, so we don't know that America's going to be here. I'm just gonna
I think it's physically
support Lyle. Well,
The
again,
continent is not going anywhere.
right. This is the climate change argument that I feel I need to break down to people. We're not worried about what we're doing to the planet. The planet is going to be fine. We are all going to die. That's the problem, right? So same thing here. Yes, the American continent will be here most likely in some form beyond 2024. We'll see about the country itself.
So, John, I
How are
have
you?
to ask you, John, because you teased something during
You wanted
the
to bring something
pod,
up. There was
and
something.
then you said no, I will bring it up in the lounge. And now I'm putting you on the spot, and let me just say this better be good.
Well, and I'm going to embarrass myself and maybe, call this a pre-senior moment that I have completely forgotten what it was.
In the context, I wasn't sure either. So, like, I don't have a good spot to be like, no, you were about.
I know.
I
I'm
think
trying
you
to
were
go
probably about
back.
to say, I don't have a good context for you there.
I do know that I was afraid it was just going to run us like another 10 minutes that we didn't need to. We were wrapping up the show. It just didn't seem to be.
So you had something that you knew would spin me off for 10 minutes, and you held it back, and now you.
And now he knows he's thought about it for a half hour and has thought, you know what, maybe I'll conveniently forget that and save myself that 10 minutes just entirely. So what was the rundown before I came on? What are we?
So
what do you want to hit on today?
John and I are in completely parallel tracks because I want to talk about relegation in the Premier League, and John had something else.
But we're going to do the promotion relegation, right? Because relegation on the upper end since Premier League finished, but also some of the promotion stuff.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff,
with
right?
the lower leagues.
So yeah, this is what you get in European football, especially in the English Premier League, Championship, League One.
The excitement of one game for one team. I guess 3 teams technically, but
you have this incredible dynamic where they don't have a playoff, but the teams at the top and at the bottom of the second and third divisions are literally fighting for survival, either staying in their current division or being promoted to the next league, which leads to some very interesting experiences for the fans. I think the big one that I think we all know people who support this team in England called Everton, who is just
for whatever reason, like, we know you chose. There was a board to look at. There was 20 teams, and people chose Everton.
So
do you think it's a Landon Donovan thing?
I think it's Landon playing for Everton.
Tim Howard as well.
Or a little bit later, yeah. This is back when there was only 1 or 2 Americans playing in Europe, and you just follow those. Now there's like hundreds, it feels like, and they're getting.
We're going to talk about them too because they're all going to be on the move now that one of these teams being relegated. But with Everton, they literally came down to the wire on the last match day of the season, and I think their match was even the last one to finish, barely surviving and staying in the Premier League. Funny enough, a similar thing happened last year, but it was, I think, the second to last week of the season. And so now their fans have the same experience to look forward to next year because they're still going to be terrible.
They're going to get exactly. I was thinking that, so I forget what the name is. You guys might be able to help me out. There's something that they call it when Arsenal beats Tottenham, I think. Is that what it is? like St. Titterington's Day or something like that. It's the day that like one team
they call stuff
finishes
weird. I mean,
another thing.
England
But we
is
need
so
to come up
limited.
with one for what Decision Day is for Everton, celebrating staying up yet again, because it's becoming a yearly tradition.
I don't know if you follow
hey, look at that, we get to charge out on the field again and hope to finish 17th again next year.
the Premier League USA account on Twitter, and I think local member Tom Blick shared this. It was very funny. Videos of all of the, not all of them, but of Everton fans in the U.S. celebrating the win as if they just won the Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
all they won was the right to get their fucking nuts kicked in again next year. It's so funny.
Yeah. I do wonder about that. I mean, obviously you want your team to be in the Premier League, and I wonder if it's different, how that would be different for the Toffee fans here in San Diego watching. Would they still get together and watch, championship side that's fighting for promotion?
Can you watch
every
championship
weekend?
I mean,
I think
where
it's on
do you-
ESPN Plus. I just assume everything's
Okay.
on ESPN Plus if it's not the Premier League.
I know
or
Premier League is like
NWSL.
on Peacock, or sometimes it's on over the air. But yeah,
Championship. I'm pretty sure Championship's on ESPN Plus. Maybe not.
yeah. But then you got the
I
next
would
year.
know. I
where
would
they're
know.
in
My
League
team
One.
is
I don't
in.
know
My
where you're
my
gonna
team is
watch
in
that.
no. My team is in. No, we're fighting for Champions League spots, which we didn't get. But I have no idea what it's like to be a poverty franchise fighting every year.
It's so crazy about Everton was that
I still cheer for a team from Merseyside, but it's just a completely different experiences. All I'm saying.
With Everton, like the thing about the prospect of relegation was that championship, that might not have been their final stop. Like they could have kept going down. There's no guarantee that they would even avoid being further relegated,
Right.
given the financial
Start
issues
sinking.
with their club. Yeah,
which is wild and makes you understand why the guys here in America don't want to open up that trap door. They don't want to play that particular brand of roulette.
Right. Also being relegated was the recent Premier League champion Leicester City. This is one where I don't follow this stuff super close, not this club anyway, but was it 2016, 2017 that they won?
15-16, I think. I think the championship was in the year of May 16.
This is a team that was not a Premier League staple. They win promotion, and in I don't know what the time frame was, but they managed to climb atop the heap and win the Premier League. Which, when you win the Premier League, you're in one of these top 4 finishers. That leads to Champions League, which it's like a revenue windfall for a club like that, because you get money for playing in these European continental competitions. So, too bad for Leicester. I don't know if we're ever going to see them up in the Premier League again. Did we lose Jason?
I think we might have lost Jason there for a moment. It's hard for me to jump in this conversation. I guess I just had a note from Jason. He'll be back in just a second. He had to dip out for a moment. Because I mean, like you said about baseball, this is where I jump in and start watching the games. I watch the promotion and relegation battles as it gets really interesting, because I don't have a team I follow. I mean, my team is the Loyal, so I don't follow a team in England or in Spain or in Mexico or anywhere else. This is the one team, but I do enjoy, when it really gets down to mean something. So I was, besides the relegation battles that we had, or the decision day there on Sunday, watched, what was it, the League One promotion with Sheffield Wednesday instead of Sheffield United's going up to Premier League, but Sheffield Wednesday was in League One playing in the final at Wembley, and they won it on a 123rd minute winner. They were just getting ready to go to penalty kicks.
Oh, wow.
It was a glorious diving header drilled into the goal. it was quite the sight. And of course, it was the fans, and half the stadium is there for Sheffield, and Barnsley, I think, was the other team. Or there, it was interesting seeing the post game stuff because half the stadium is still full and half the stadium is completely empty for the fans who left and the fans who were staying through all the ceremony. But then you had mentioned Luton Town, and got American goalkeeper there at Luton Town, and going up to the Premier League. Be interesting to see if he
I was
stays,
reading about
or
this club because I don't know anything about Luton Town, but it's really funny. This stadium that they play in is very small, and you have to. There's like to get into one of the stands, you have to like go through like these converted row houses, and people that live on the street have to move their cars on match days so that fans can stand in line. It's called Kenilworth Road. Luton has played there since 1905, and it's just an incredible kind of experience to imagine. Erling Haaland and City and the big clubs coming through and playing at little Luton Town Stadium. Just really interesting facet of English football.
Yeah, you earn it, you get it. I guess they're going to force them to make some sort of improvements, which seems probably good. And I'm sure the team is not that upset about it because they'll be getting far more money and actually that's the point of getting to the Premier League too, right? Is that you get a piece of that pie, and they're like, oh, you need $12 million in improvements. It's like, well, we made $100 million by coming up. So yeah, we know that we need improvements on our stadium that's 120 years old, and now we can because we're in the Premier League. But the camera angles there are going to be some USL level shit, aren't they?
Well, I'm reading this story in USA Today, and it says that the Premier League will insist on about 8 figures worth of upgrades, broadcasting infrastructure, floodlights, bigger press box, media conference room. They'll have about 3 months to get all of that done, and the club for winning promotion does get some money from the league, so it's not like they're digging into their own right. Poverty club pockets, but it's just a fun wrinkle in the way
I was wondering
those leagues work.
If Premier League has like a pot of that for like just in case this happens. Like everybody puts it, their people can afford it, right? Between Newcastle and Manchester City, they can put in a couple extra million of just in case a small club comes up and they want specific heated seats for all their players and whatnot. Like it seems like they would have like a just in case Luton Town gets promoted, we've got a little pot of money sitting around for them to. I mean, those press boxes. What do you think of a press box built in 19? I'm sure there have been upgrades. I keep saying 1905, but like. Not a lot. If you see where the stadium is, it's basically surrounded on all 4 sides by housing. Like you're not going out at all. They haven't gone up at all. It doesn't look like. So that press box, I assume. I don't know if you guys have been.
Did you go outside, Jason? Because I know you were somewhere else, but now it looks like you're outside. Is that why you had to take a break? You moved your
I've been outside.
Your laptop and camera outside because
there's trees on one side and Monifer on the other side.
Well, before you were somewhere else. Okay. Oh, nice. So, other interesting wrinkles in the end of the Premier League season are some of our favorite U.S. men's national team players might also be on the move. Chelsea, which is another soccer team in England. Hold on, I need to scroll. I'm looking at the table, and I've got to scroll
further down.
I've got to scroll my mouse wheel down.
Keep going. Second half.
Okay, there they are. I knew Chelsea was here somewhere.
Who's in 11th? They're under someone.
They finished behind. So I mean, Chelsea finished behind teams such as Tottenham, Aston Villa, Brentford, Fulham, and Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So pretty ignoble company there to finish behind. And the LeBron James of soccer that actually plays for Chelsea, American Christian Pulisic, is rumored to be on the move. And I think the latest I heard was, and this is not the first it's been out there, but Italian side Juventus is apparently interested in Pulisic. I think a fellow U.S. men's national team player, Weston McKennie,
He's going back, right? That was a long.
played at Juve for a while, and they still own his contract. Is that it? I thought he was on loan at
thought
Juve.
He was on loan. Yeah.
He was on loan at Leeds, right?
Right.
No, wait.
Yeah.
I thought he was on loan at Juventus.
I don't believe so. He
I
was
think
on
they
loan at
still hold his
Leeds.
contract
Yeah.
Okay.
because they were talking about him going. I could be wrong about that, but I saw someone
Yeah, well,
posted
we're
video
all
of him
very
on the
serious
train.
soccer journalists who fact check stuff before talking about it. So
On the he was on the train, which there you go. Think about that. On the train from England back to Italy. So think about that, you infrastructure sickos.
Well, yeah,
That
well,
there's
yeah.
one train that takes you from England to Italy, whole other country, across a whole other continent. Just get on the train and
I
go
mean, that's
there.
like a half
That's all you gotta
continent,
do.
man. Come on, Europe ain't big. That's like a half a continent. So, speaking of U.S. men's national team stuff, Leeds United, the
The darlings, the American darlings.
yeah, this was the big Ted Lasso experiment in England. Ted Lasso in real life, had showed signs of life. I think they looked decent midway through the season, but I think losing Tyler Adams, and I don't know if they had other. Like I said, I didn't follow the club, but things took a turn, and that was to all the way even past Chelsea, even worse than Chelsea. And now they are being relegated once again. Leeds has only been in the Premier League for I think 2 seasons since winning promotion a couple of years ago, and now they're back down to the Championship. So, what becomes of these U.S. men's national team players on Leeds? Tyler Adams, what's Aronson, McKennie, who we think is on his way on that train back to Italy.
Yeah.
I saw a story in ESPN that Adams is rumored to be on the radar of Manchester United, which needs all the help they can get because woof, they finished third.
No,
That's
they
fine.
made it into Champions League this year. They're back. They need an American like Tyler. Yeah, this is where I wish I knew more about European soccer because, like yourself, I don't. I think what did Jerry say? I don't support any other team besides Loyal, but I still had a great time watching in the Bundesliga. That's where I am. I wish I was at a point where I could be like, Tyler Adams would really look great at Eintracht, Frankfurt Eintracht or whatever. I have no idea. No idea. So I hope that they land somewhere in.
No, the German league is.
leagues.
I'm sorry. I know there's people who like German teams and German league, but how fun is your league when the same team wins the championship every single year?
Sorry, Dortmund fans. Speaking
Yeah,
of decision day, what a shit the bed that was.
Another U.S. men's national team guy, Gio Reyna, had a pretty good season, I think, for them this year. It wasn't enough to get him playing time in the World Cup, but I think we found out some other things, some other circumstances.
We need to send Mama Reyna over there and get him off the bench on decision day.
Oh my goodness! But that leads the Ted Lasso experiment appears to be over. I don't know how many of our players are going to stay there, but better things on the horizon. I think especially for Christian, getting him the hell out of Chelsea, where he had success, but gosh, I don't know. The coach forgot he was on the bench or something. He started overlooking him.
Yeah.
There may have been some injury stuff going on. But yeah, hopefully.
I'm really bummed about the Leeds thing because it was just fun to have like a team to watch 3 Americans playing together on, right? Which wasn't for long because McKinney got there, and then Adams got hurt pretty quickly. But yeah, it was kind of like that Ted Lasso experience, and then Marsh was gone halfway through. So by the time McKinney got there, Marsh was already out. But it was kind of cool of like, oh yeah, that's the American team, and I thought that was cool. I'm an Aronson guy. I guess he came up through Phillies academy, so I'll always be an Aronson guy.
Was that the Philadelphia Phillies?
And yeah. Remember
Like
when
that
the
Boston
Phillies?
They play against the Celtics in the
remember
MLB,
the Phillies
right?
and Padres were in the NLCS last year. Wow, that was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I
only
forgot
40
all about
wins.
it.
Only 40 combined wins ago though. So I guess maybe not that long ago.
Or do they suck this year too?
Yeah, they all. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the Phillies are worse than the Padres right now. If that's
Oh
the
yeah.
thing.
Well, that's
So
what
they're
you
like
get.
Chelsea right now, actually. We're gonna finish mid-table in the NL East. But yeah, it was cool to kind of have that. Like, oh yeah, I'll tune in to see what Leeds is doing. And now don't have that. I would like something in my contract, though, that like these guys have, that if they get relegated, they get bounced. They can move wherever they want, basically, or whatever it is. It's like, okay, if we as a collective suck, I'm out. Like put that in my contract. That's a nice little parachute to have.
Yeah. Well, it would be great if we had something like that in the United States, but too bad. The U.S. Soccer Federation says no. You can have it.
Yep.
Go cheer for the fucking Earthquakes, you piece of shit fans.
Yeah. Or if they said, hey, the top league is only going to be 20, and then the rest of those cities can pour money into their other teams and also be better instead of expanding to 60 teams in the top league.
Well, the thing about
and then
Jason, I don't know if you know this,
but
but the thing about business, and you may not be a businessman, so I might be educating you a little bit here, but the thing about business is that in order for your business to grow and be profitable, you have to constantly be bringing in more people into your business. So you bring in the people into your business, they give you money, and then you pay out to everybody else in your business. Then you bring in another person into your business, they pay you, and you take that money and you pay the last person that came in. This is a very tried and true business strategy. Very smart business people have been doing this for many years with a lot of success. This is
my mom was a Pampered Chef consultant. I know.
Business School 101.
Is that this is definitely something that will work forever in perpetuity.
It will
with no one getting hurt or going to prison.
Nobody's ever gone to prison for running a business in this manner, and it's proven effective part of the landscape. So yeah, I understand non-business types not quite getting it.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I remember this coming up like 10 years ago with them, and they're like, this isn't sustainable. And I was like, yeah, none of that's definitely not sustainable. And that's because they were getting like $12 million from FC Cincinnati to do this. $500 million feels a lot more sustainable if that's going to be every 2 years they're going to be adding that in. It's just wild.
We're and I'm kind of catching myself here because we're sitting here blasting MLS for this ridiculous business model, but the league we just spent 20 minutes praising up and down, literal nation states own teams in that league,
right,
and can just launder as much money as they want through those teams with ad buys from the state-owned airline, buying ads on the state-owned soccer team. One of them that I actually cheer for, but have no real connection to. So take that for what it is. But yeah, so this is a dirty business, no matter.
It is a dirty business. Remember being a kid and thinking like, gee, sports are swell. Like, gosh.
I mean, I didn't grow up in the I mean,
Give
I
him
didn't
the
grow up.
old
I didn't grow up
college
next to
try.
Dennis the Menace, and it wasn't the 1950s, so I don't think I ever
It
thought
feels like
anything
it.
was swell. But
Feels
like,
like
I
it
thought
now. In the 80s, everything was rad. Everything was, I don't
things
know
were
what was. I was
rad.
too young.
Sometimes they were bitching.
I was the late 80s.
Sometimes, I mean, things have always been cool.
Right.
But swell, no,
Yeah.
never swell.
I remember, speaking of things we used to think about, Mark McGuire having my dad like fawning over Mark McGuire's forearms. He like read some Sports Illustrated articles like he's got 17-inch forearms or biceps or whatever, and like being. And then now that I'm an adult and looking back, and I'm just like, Dad, how did no one? What? Like you
When I
thought
was
this
a
dude
kid-
was just in there doing curls
When I was
all
a
night,
kid,
and that's
Mark
what was
McGuire was the skinny one next to Jose Canseco in Oakland. That's how I remember him.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, well, it's just in there. Yeah, got to work out hard, son. Okay, okay.
You too can achieve your dreams.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. As far as I want to switch gears a little bit back to the loyal, because we're at kind of this part of the season where I guess we're almost midway through, if not at the midway point.
Third, I think we're third, right?
not
Somebody
quite.
just said we're about the third.
A
Yeah, we're
third
coming
of
up
the
to
way
match
through.
day
12 in.
13.
Yeah, so we're 12 in. There's 36-ish, 34-ish.
This is a long season too, man. I was like baseball. Like I thought we were almost there.
No,
Gosh.
we're a month away from being halfway.
Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna save my mid-season grade for
Okay,
halfway
good.
because they have.
season grade. Take it down a third or a sixth, whatever that would be.
Well, they've got a few games to impress me. I am really hanging all of my hopes on this homestand against Sacramento and San Antonio. I would love nothing more than to have 3 points from each of those games to bring me back to the I won't say joyous. It was always miserable, but the less miserable place that is my kind of constant. So yeah, I would like to get to a slightly less negative place in my enjoyment of this club.
Yeah. I don't know. Has anybody looked up? San Antonio doesn't have a bye before coming out here, do they? Because that would be, I assume they don't. But it's kind of nice that they've got to make that shitty trip to San Diego with no direct flights on a Wednesday. That's kind of nice. And we get to.
Oh, that's a Wednesday
home again.
game? Man.
Yeah, we go Friday, Wednesday.
Okay.
So, so that gives us a little extra time there on a Wednesday game. If they're playing Saturday home and then coming out here or wherever they are, I assume it's home and then here. That's kind of nice.
That feels right. I'm not going to check, but that feels right.
So I mean, there's that little bit of the second time we play San Antonio. We will have just played them. It's at home. They're on a short week and they're flying here on a Wednesday. So it's lining up good. You just have to put the ball into the net at some point.
Welcome,
Many
Nick Duffy, to the chat. You are always welcome on the lounge. No, we are not. There is no intervention. I'm not being talked off of anything.
I think John was right, though. We talked about it as it was happening. It was all there. It was just those passes were hitting defenders that were in the way of something really brilliant happening.
I don't know
doing? Why
what do they think they're doing?
They kept using their feet and heads and chests in such a way that they kept us from beautiful through balls and chances. But if they could stop that, that'd be great. So, but yeah, it's it was there to be had, and there's just a little lacking in that final. The final pass was lacking, as the people say.
Not just the final pass.
It wasn't just fun.
There were some all over the field there, and again, like I said in the Loyal Locals podcast earlier, that I do think we're just not quite clicking, and when we do, I think we saw kind of a difference when we played Phoenix early in the season away at Phoenix, and it was a slog through the first part of the game. And then Phoenix also changed what they were doing a little bit, which helped us
Right.
out. But then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, we were connecting and clicking on passes. And when we do click and connect, we're a strong team. We can move the ball quickly up and down the field. We just still haven't been a strong goal scoring threat. No one has really, I'll say no one stepped up, but I don't think someone like Damas has been provided the service that he also would best take advantage of. It's a
Yeah.
combination of both things. But as
Yeah,
a
the
team, we haven't been dangerous.
The misuse of Damas to me is like the story of the season in a way, because here's a guy who's got an elevated profile, I think, in USL after leading OC to the championship. Added to a loyal roster that preseason was already looking stacked, right? Bringing in Joe Corona, Devin Conway being elevated to starter and looking really good in those preseason matches. And, just adding that icing on the cake, the attack cake, if you will. Gosh, one of those goals in Phoenix was Adamas effort goal,
Mhm.
but I think that his skill set is such that you have to find him in space and you have to let him chase the ball. And if we are not and the Loyal have never been a long ball attacking team or pushing these through balls into a lot of space, that's not exactly what they want to do. Counterattacking would be great, but on counters, it's if only
Deliberate.
one guy is running, I don't know how you counterattack.
Yeah.
And he's not getting the ball when he does anyway. So I imagine he must be pretty frustrated. But I don't. Is it going to change? I don't. It's almost June. It hasn't changed yet, so I don't know that it will. I have no confidence that it will. Maybe we'll just see more games where he doesn't come on until the last third of the game.
Yeah, with the system that they have, that kind of Amon kind of thrived in last year with when he played alongside Vassell, and Vassell could hold up and let Amon start a run, right, and then find him, because there's no gravity, and I use that term with Vassell a lot. Is it just his gravity of pulling either center forward or center back up with him out of that space on a lobbed ball to him that is up in the air, and you just feel everyone moving towards him, and and then the attackers coming toward that see that and can play off of it, and it's just not happening. It feels a lot like that San Antonio playoff game where you're just around the outside, trying to find something in. Maybe Perez accidentally kicks it into the goal from 30, 40 yards out while he's trying to cross. It's not working right now. And it's got to be hard to change up top all the time like that, right? Like Vassell came in for 1 year, and Amon was here. Maybe he was here the year. No, he was only here for 1 year as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, we traded for him, and he started, and that was great.
We have a new striker every year. We have a new striker
clean, and and Conway is now, what role is he going to be in? He's been in a different role, because I thought he'd be in the Damas role, but then Damas came in and pushed him out wide, which is, I don't think, Conway's best area. Any through balls that Damas does get pull him away from goal. Like, none of them are towards goal. They just send him into the space outside to then be a creator, which he's not his best attribute. So.
No, he
long season though.
He loses the ball out there. Although he did have an assist. He has had a couple assists this season and one fairly recently. But yeah, that's not. You didn't bring him to San Diego to be a facilitator to assist. You brought him here to score goals.
Yep.
And at this point in the season, I would have thought he would have had 3 times as many goals as he has right now. Before the season started.
Yeah, just not clicking. We were talking. I don't know I was standing with you, John, and I think I probably said to you, I was like, every game just looks like the first game they've all played together. There's just like a cohesion thing that again, you can see it there. You can see either some individual talent, you can see someone make a good run, you can see that they're thinking it, but it's just like, oh, that guy was a little faster than I thought. Like, well, you've been playing with him for this long. You should know, where that ball should go. You should not be hitting it behind. A lot of that too. Things just hit just barely behind somebody, so they have to slow down, and it gets caught in their feet. And then now there's 3 defenders behind them instead of they might have been through with the right ball. So, second division American soccer, those things are going to happen. And if they could all do it all perfectly, they wouldn't be here. So,
You know what? I'm ready for it to start happening to someone else. I'm ready for San Antonio and Sacramento to start having chemistry issues and missing those connections, because now would be a great time for that to happen.
yeah. Perfect 3 weeks, I think. Not even 3 weeks. It's only, what do we have, 3 in 10 days, 3 in 11 days, something like that. We go Saturday, Friday, Wednesday, right?
All right,
Could
John.
be a quick 9 points.
Three matches in however many days Jason just said, right? San Antonio, Sacramento, San Antonio. At the end of these 3 matches, how many
9 points?
9
All right,
points.
Jason.
That's what John's here for. That's what John's here for.
Jason, at the end of these 3 matches, how many points?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with John. 9 points.
Because if I was going to be realistic, I'd be
I don't
on
wanna
Bum's
be-
breakdown.
Right.
Like it's
We're
always
gonna
going to be.
do it. We
It's
can
going to
do it.
be
It's
3
there.
points
It's
every
right
game.
There. It's right
Okay,
there.
I'm going to break from my
It's right
tradition, and
What?
I'm going to say 4 points. My prediction is 4 points over the next 3 games.
Who we just play? Oakland? Well, we never beat Oakland. But we beat Sacramento the last time they were here, right? So we're on a winning streak against them of 1. Is that right?
We
Well,
lost.
we beat San Antonio last time
So
we played
that's what I
them
meant.
at
That's what I
home.
meant. Sorry.
Beat them
Weren't
3-0.
they were like the last game of the. Was that our last game of the year?
No, that was in
No,
August.
but it was near the end.
Oh, okay. Who am I thinking of? Another Texas team?
You're thinking of the Sacramento game from 2021.
What was the game we were on the field for last year, and then the one before that? Didn't we have a 2-game winning streak going into the playoffs? That was El Toro, Toros, right? RGV, Texas? No? Last game of the year last year?
I don't even remember.
I wasn't there.
Oh. We were on the field. It was the whole thing. It was fun.
I'm
but
there
only
more for the atmosphere.
a third of the way through the year, and plenty of time to get it clicking. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. We want to win every game and everything, but like we're going to be there and loud every game, no matter what. They'll make the playoffs. It's what you do in the playoffs, right? Like that's the point of the playoffs. Is look at the 8 seed Miami Heat right now, right? Like look at Oakland last year. Doesn't matter what. It's American sports. The regular season's meaningless.
John, are you going to the watch party this weekend?
Yes.
Which one?
I haven't decided. Only because it's for some of you who know I am a teacher, and this is our last regular week, and then finals next week. Depending how my grades situation are going, I may have to stay home and
Are you
watch.
failing? You haven't, you haven't
I'm not failing.
Oh, okay.
But
It's a little
I
late to
wish
bring
I
that
could
grade
say
up now.
everybody was passing.
Some friends will be seeing you again next year.
There might be. We're trying to avoid that, but we'll see.
Jason, are
But
you
no,
going?
I
I'm sorry.
But would you go to where would you go if you went? You think you'd stay up north, try out Northern Pine, or think you come down?
if I was going this weekend, I think I'd try Northern Pine because I haven't been there yet. I'm in North County and I haven't been there, and I'd like to go check it out and support a place that has, decided to partner with us, and I haven't been out there yet. So if I was going, that's where I'd probably go.
God, I should probably check this. Kids All-Star softball tournament schedule came out, and let's see what we have this week.
Are you
Looks
going
like
to
it's
the watch party, or you've got softball?
240 to 340 in OB. So if I make one, and they said we might have a 6 o'clock game. So I don't know what that might have a 6 o'clock game situation is. But yeah, so I'll be in OB and probably try to get out to Fair Play.
Well,
Andrew,
that's
you gonna
too
go to
bad because
Cabarrus?
the real party is at Cabarrus, like always. I, in fact, only asked each of you where you're going so that I
So that
could
you could
then pump up Cabarrus, the where the real watch party heads gather.
yeah.
Um,
I actually might make it because that's early enough. I might make it home and then down. It looks like Fair Play wouldn't actually be like on my way anywhere. So I might come home and
Exactly.
go down.
Yeah, and we haven't been to Cabarro, or I haven't been to Cabarro this season. I think the other away matches I either traveled to,
Yep.
or I went to the club's parties. So I am looking forward to hitting Cabarros for the first time this season. I think I saw 20% off food and drinks at Cabarros.
Just bring your
for-
scarf chain.
Yeah, which is phenomenal. I don't know if they've added anything to their menu before. It's very eclectic. It's not like a regular San Diego taco shop. It's
Right.
kind of a eclectic way that they make. I mean, you're still going to get a fat burrito, but they've got one with like bacon in it. They have some different ingredients. You can get it covered with chili. I think it's a little bit differently done. I think you can get one
Yeah,
fried
they do
too.
some
Do they
mayo.
fry them
You get
there?
it fried. I think they fry one. They do have the bacon wrapped one, or you can make any burrito bacon wrap maybe. I don't know.
I would never. I mean, you look at me and you don't believe me, but I'm telling you, I would never.
Yeah, they have some interesting options there that are definitely beyond your regular taco shop. So I would probably go something wild just because it's a little off. Like if you're gonna go off the beaten path to me, you might as well just go full bore. So
And in the past
I
watch
think I got-
parties, we've had the whole place to ourselves,
Yeah.
which is either a good thing or a bad thing for the restaurant. But
yeah,
it's not a judgment call on them. Everything there, I've enjoyed it, and it's a great place to watch a match.
And they have that sushi place inside there too, I think. And we got some sort of noodles from there that weren't actually sushi. So the sushi isn't just sushi. Sushi might also be ramen or something like that.
Jerry is the Cabarro's whisperer in the chat, talking about the sushi.
But not a sushi burrito. Like they have a sushi place inside the Mexican place.
Is this like one of those ghost kitchens where, like, if you go on an app, you've heard of these ghost kitchens, right? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Like,
talk to me about this.
so if you go on food delivery apps, like you might find, I'm just going to make one up, like a smash burger, right, for delivery in your neighborhood, and you're like, well, we don't have a smash burger, but it's called a ghost kitchen, and so like some other chain restaurant in your neighborhood is making stuff on the smash burger menu for delivery apps, and this is the ghost kitchen thing where like the kitchen will also cook items from other chain restaurants menus and offer it up for delivery from all these different apps. One of these weird phenomenon in the service exploitation economy that we're all living with.
I think this is more one of those combination Taco Bell, KFC, Subway,
oh man,
or whatever.
banger,
That
banger.
situation is.
I listen to that song probably once a year.
Okay, KFC, Taco Bell.
Yeah. I mean, that's an all-timer. It's great for annoying the kids in the car once your kids become teenagers. It's a real winner. If their friends are in the car, it's a great one to throw on. Are you picking you're in the pickup line? You want to embarrass them?
Just crank
it up. It's always a good one.
Locals added to their story.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to toss it up to John. John, do you have any burning issues or anything you need to get off your chest while we are still on the air this week?
I have one thing. I don't know if you guys saw this in the Discord. One of our loyal extra locals up in Portland, Ben Stern, had put this out as a book recommendation and maybe as a locals book club thing that we do to read this book, Pirates, Punks, and Politics, about St. Pauli FC. And I mentioned some in the Discord. I thought this was a great idea, and I have actually already ordered the book. So I'd encourage anybody who wants to read along with us to go ahead and see if you can get yourself a copy. And we'll see if we can, I don't know, maybe do a loose kind of book club. We'll start with this book first, because I think there's some interesting parallels with St. Pauli that could apply to us as well. And if you don't know anything about St. Pauli in Germany, you might want to just do maybe a quick Wikipedia search, and then
Not the
maybe
beer,
if that
the football
is,
team.
yeah, if that is of interest to you, you might want to check out getting the book as well. So my copy should be coming here in about a week. You know, it's probably not a title you can just go pick up at your local Barnes and Noble.
No, and even Amazon. Let me just tell you, John, because I went on to the Amazon machine and typed it in. And get this, if I want a paperback copy, because I don't want to read it on my Kindle, estimated delivery June 14th to June 30th. It's $11.39 to buy it. Now, my delivery options, I can either have it the second half of June for a $10 shipping fee.
Wow.
Or I could have it between June 5th and June 8th for $50.
Oh, do that. It's supposed to be a good
That's
book.
an awesome
You
website.
picked a good book.
Don't buy this shit from Amazon, y'all.
I'd like to also note that Jerry Ibarra in the chat had mentioned that there's also some good documentaries on YouTube you can see for
Yeah, that's
Yes.
much
or to
No
find
reading.
out some things about St. Pauli.
Yeah, if it's not an audiobook or a podcast, it better be a YouTube video.
So for any of you readers out there and are willing to get the book and maybe wait a little for it to come in, so maybe we can talk about it towards the end of the summer, but this gives
No, I do
people a
want to
chance.
join the book club, and we could even do the book club as a lounge. That might be fun.
Yeah, I think that would be for people who've read it and want to come on and
Yeah,
we do
that would be a
something,
lot of
maybe
fun.
shoot
Yeah,
towards
love
the
that.
end of the summer for that.
Okay, fine. I'll read a book if we're going to do that.
All right.
$50 book.
That was my burning thing.
All right, Jason.
good.
What you got? Any final thoughts? If
Uh,
not, let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, we got we did Nick and I did a little interview type thing, that you guys mentioned on the previous podcast, and I think that went well to kind of get our vision out. And some people, even the person interviewing us was kind of like, "Oh, okay." So we want to get our story out, and people are coming and calling about our story. So I have another one lined up for tomorrow. I'll be looking for Urban Pitch. That'll be out at some point. And, if you have a publication who would like to hear our story, let us
Listen
know.
to the
We'd
podcast.
We'd love to tell you. I thought
Watch John's documentary.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of documentaries, if you're on YouTube looking for good documentaries, watch St. Pauli and then watch the Forever Loyal.
No,
One
Real
with
Heads-
Larry.
Real Heads
Oh,
watched
look
it
at that
years
right
ago.
there. She
They
mentions
embedded
it,
a
she
link to
embeds
it in the American TIFO article.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and then, for those of you who want to be part of maybe a follow-up to that, because we want to be, again, telling people who we are and have an updated version of who we are and what's going on, talk to John and I, because we'll be putting that together over the summer. We're teachers, so we've got June and July here to really get some stuff
Right.
done.
How are your grades? Are you failing too?
I am a special education teacher, and everybody's gonna get through this year. And I'm very proud of I don't work with a lot of students. My caseload's small, so I can stay home with my kids a couple days a week. So the kids that I do work with, I'm very proud of what they've gotten done this year. It's really cool to see, and especially in high school, that when given the chance to go off the rails or stay on them, they really all chose to stay on the rails this year and not get out, which hadn't been necessarily the behaviors in previous years. So it's cool to see kids mature and take themselves seriously and their future seriously. So yeah, not to get too deep, but it was actually a really good year this year. Had a couple graduate early, so really proud of what they did. And I'm out early. I'm out Friday, so this is it for me.
All right.
I'm ready to
good
go.
to
Lucky
hear.
you.
Yep.
All right. And all right. Well, thank you everybody who joined us in the chat. If you're joining us through your podcast feed, thank you so much. Go ahead and listen to the next show in your feed, because that is the main show with all of the information you need for the upcoming match days. So, all right. I'm Andrew Dyer. Find me on Twitter at Andrew P. Dyer, and we'll be back next week.